So, if we were going to work on the questions for the adopted son, our first question wants us to describe the story's setting and context. I had wrote here, the setting is a small fishing tourist village in rural France. This is important to note because the families are poor, living in poverty. They're fishermen, right? Maupassant describes the homes as being impoverished. The fathers of the two families, always working at sea as fishermen, Maupassant describes the meager meals the families survive on in an effort to relay the impoverished conditions the families reside in. The story was published in 1887, so you could say the story is taking place sometime in the 1800s to early 1900s. We could also say that that could be the context as to why the Hubriers show up, because they are wealthy tourists looking for children. All right, so then we could characterize her. She was obviously spoiled, entitled. Look at the children, how pretty they are. I mean, modern readers would really be horrified. Like, she's not even asking, do these children have allergies? From a modern reader perspective, you could analyze the story as Madame Hubris being entitled and arrogant to a dangerous fault to just show up playing with people's kids, right? And I have the quote here: the man did not answer, accustomed to these outbursts of admiration, which were a pain and almost reproach to him. This shows that Madame often admires children they come across, which the reader later learns is because the couple cannot have children of their own, which is kind of sad, but yet not an excuse to do all these things. Approaching kids you don't know. All right, so any of those: arrogant, entitled, childish. You could even say, you could characterize her as infertile, even though that's technically not a character trait, but in her case, her infertility, it appears to have created someone who believes that she's entitled to someone else's child. That's another theme you could say is in this story. The idea of infertility. If a wealthy couple is able to give a child a good life, should that wealthy couple be able to take the child from an impoverished family? That's our story's theme here. Why do you think the Tuvachis are so cruel and hostile towards the Valens? Well, you could say that they are experiencing jealousy, and they're jealous that they didn't make this decision. Because as soon as we get to think of the child's future and happiness, the peasant women exasperated. It's all considered, get out of here. So they kick him out, right? Now, when the Valens are getting 100 francs a month, more than that, we must have 120 francs. That's when the Tuvache, I didn't sell you. I didn't sell you, my little one. I'm not rich. I don't sell my children. So we could either say it is possible that the Tuvaches are taking out their anger over the financial situation. Another possible answer: the Tuvaches, the Tuvache mother may be treating the Valen mother so cruelly because she genuinely is disgusted by the Valen's decision to sell their child. So you could argue that she's actually upset about this. And even when she's saying here, um, this can be proven in the text when Mrs. or I'll say Mother Tuvache says, I didn't sell you. I didn't. I didn't sell you, my little one. I'm not rich, but I don't sell my children. So we can say this textual evidence proves that Mother Tuvache was harassing Mother Valen out of genuine dislike. That's how we could say that. All right. And then we had, in our opinion, who made the right choice? Well, this would really be your opinion. But you would want to put in some evidence. So, in my opinion, I'm going to say if if Charlotte is so resentful, he says, you must have been stupid to let the Valen boys be taken, which proves the Valen parents made the correct choice. Because Charlotte is mad. The Valen boy got taken and he did it. And then at the end of our story, so you would make sure you just put some evidence from the text and work a quote in to show what you think. And you could write multiple if you want to do it different ways. In the final ending, we have Charlotte. He said to the old people, the old woman wept over her plate. So you could say, when, we can say here, when Charlotte sees the life that Jean has, he turns to his parents and in order to say his goodbyes. At the story's falling action, Maupassant writes, he said to the old people, which could show readers that Charlotte has made the final decision to disown his parents over their bad decision to hold him back from a life with an inheritance. That use of the old people, old woman, it's showing that he is disassociated with them. And that would be how authors can use language to add, make the readers think a little more. Like, why wouldn't he just say mother and father? Well, what's he saying here? And that would be our questions for The Adopted Son.